Alright, so this is probably an unexpected video. I actually did record this video or a similar video this summer. I want to say probably around June. I recorded a video, but I think it ended up being way too long, and I just never got around to editing it and posting it. But basically, I wanted to create a follow-up video to my video I posted. I think it was the last video I ever posted, which was last summer. So it was around July or August of 2024. So last summer, my brother and I went on a demo ride event for Can-Am on-road models, which includes the Spyders, the Rikers, etc. That was my first time ever riding a Spyder. And after that demo ride experience, I decided that I loved the Spyder, and I thought it would be, perfect for comfort of my back. I have an issue with riding motorcycles for long periods of time. I had a Harley Softail. I've ridden multiple other bikes, and after about 45 minutes to an hour, my back just, I don't know, gives me problems. I work in IT. I've been sitting in front of a computer all day, every day for almost 20 years now. And so I just was looking for something more comfortable. And when I rode the Spyder last summer with my brother, I fell in love with it, and I decided I wanted to get one. Well, I had some things going on in my life, and I was planning on, probably waiting a couple years before getting a Spyder. And as you can see right now, waiting a couple years didn't quite go to plan. I ended up picking this one up in May of this year. This is a 2023 RT Base. So it is the RT, but it does not include the top case or the automatic air suspension. It's the base model. So the reason I ended up getting this one is because I ended up picking it up brand new. The local dealership that we went to, Nielsen's in, I believe it's in Lake Villa, Illinois. They sent my brother an email earlier this spring, and just basically said, hey, we have some leftover new stock from previous model years. And this one was a 2023. I believe the sticker price on it was $24 and some change. I don't remember the exact price, but I think the base RTs were like $24.4 or $24.5, something like that. Well, it was 2 years old, brand new, never purchased, never titled. And I ended up getting it new with full warranty. Instead of $24, I ended up getting it for about $16. So it was a significant savings. I ended up getting it for less than used models with miles on them typically cost. I did find a couple RT bases that were 2021, 2022 models with miles on them. And they were selling for around, 17, 18 on the used market. So I said, well, if I can get a brand new one for 16, keep the payment low. They were also running a special on in-house financing through them. So I ended up getting a good interest rate, which, as we all know, interest rates have been pretty crazy, fluctuating, but overall been pretty high up there since COVID hit 5 years ago. But I ended up getting this thing for about $8,000 off sticker, brand new, full factory warranty with a solid interest rate. So that's why I ended up picking up this one. I ended up getting it in May. I want to say it was maybe a week or two before Memorial Day or something like that. It wasn't planned. It was kind of a spur of the moment decision. My brother said, hey, they got, deep discounts on these leftover new stock from a couple model years ago. I went and looked at it. And I actually ended up buying this. Excuse me. I ended up getting this one, and I had never actually ridden an RT before. The video that I posted last year when we went on our demo ride, we rode an F3 Limited, and we rode a Riker 900 Sport or whatever it was. And I knew I loved the Spyder. I loved the bigger size. I loved the, the more advanced suspension, the power steering, all that stuff. But I had never driven an RT before, so I just thought in my head, well, if I like the F3 Limited so much, the RT's got to be, a little squishier, more comfortable. So I actually ended up buying it without ever riding it, because I figured it would just be like the awesome experience I had on the F3 Limited, but just with, a little more comfort, a little squishier seat. I liked the big floorboards. There's plenty of room to move your feet back and forward. Yeah, so I ended up pulling the trigger and getting it, and I've been happy with it. Honestly, this summer, I put more miles on the Spyder than any other motorcycle I've ever owned. My Harley Softail Sport that I bought, I believe it was a 2021. I had it for 2 whole seasons, and I think I had just over 1,600 miles on it in 2 summers, which is one of the reasons why I ended up getting rid of it, because I wasn't riding it enough to justify, making the payments on it and keeping it. This I picked up last half of May. Yeah, the latter half of May I ended up picking this up. And last I checked, I think I have a little over 4,000 miles on it. So it's around probably 4,200 to 4,400 miles on it that I've put on since May. So I've been riding it, not a crazy amount. I know some people are doing 10, 15, 20,000 miles a year on their motorcycles, and that's not really me. But the fact that I ended up getting something that I could put 4,000 miles on in a single summer was huge for me. And I've done a couple minor modifications. I did put the OEM accessory driver backrest on it, which is what the F3 Limited had that I test rode last summer. So I did end up putting the backrest on it, which is huge. I believe 2 weeks after I bought this thing, my brother and his friends were going on a longer ride. It was like a 3.5-hour ride one way, which I never would have done on my Harley because my back just couldn't handle it. And I jumped on the Spyder, and we left Lake County, Illinois area and rode it all the way up by Green Bay, Wisconsin, and came back, and I jumped off the bike when I got home, and I was perfectly fine. There was no numbness, there was no soreness, I was good to go. So I ended up actually getting to test out a longer ride, thankfully, a couple weeks after I bought it, and I knew right then that this was, something different, something that was going to work for me comfort-wise, and something that I never had before. I've never had a bike that I could just go on, a day trip with, or, just be gone for 6-8 hours, with most of that time being set, in the saddle, and get home and not be miserable and not have to schedule an extra chiropractor appointment or something. So this has been great for me in my back. The other thing I really like about it is the fact that there's so much storage on it. I mean, I have the integrated saddlebags in the back, but then the front trunk is so big, I can throw my laptop backpack in there. I can take it to the grocery store. I can fit like 5 or 6 plastic, grocery bags in there with food and just do grocery runs. I can, run out to the mall and do Amazon returns. It has very usable space on it. And the fact that, you don't have to balance it. It has reverse. I'm physically capable of riding motorcycles. I've owned 5 or 6 of them over the years. I can ride a 2-wheel motorcycle, no problem. It's just my issue was the longevity. My issue was going on longer rides. When I had my motorcycles, I was limiting myself to, maybe 2 hours total round trip, maybe going an hour away from home, getting off the bike for a little bit, and then coming back, because I was just so uncomfortable and was dealing with, back pain for being on the bike for so long. But this, I get none of that. This, I feel like I'm just sitting in a recliner with handlebars. The floorboards on this model are great. They're huge. If I go over railroad tracks or come across any obstacles in the road, it's super quick and easy to stand up. It's super stable. The brakes work really well. I think all the Spyders do, but I know this one has, the Brembo brakes on it. You know, I use the cruise control all the time. The reverse is great. You know, it's awesome pulling into stores. You know, you just pull into a parking spot like a normal car. You just pull into a parking spot like a normal car, and then you know, go about your business, and then you can just jump back on the bike and just back out like a car and jump on the road and go home. So it's very practical for me, and it's very comfortable. And also the price I paid for this thing, I couldn't really say no. And I know a few minutes ago I did mention doing a couple minor modifications. So I did end up putting foam grip covers on this just to make the grips a little thicker. And also the heated grips on this bike work very, very well. And they actually get really warm, so I actually like having the foam on there. So it doesn't make my hands too hot, because it's really difficult to ride this with the heated grips on without gloves. You know, in the summer months, I usually ride without gloves. But yeah, so I did that. I did put this charging dock thing on here. I know my phone's blocking it, so I can't really show all the details, but I do have the phone dock with RAM mount X grip mounted to it, and then I have the charging port. So I have USB charging ports and then a 12 volt over here. What else have I done? Oh, I did the hard mounts for the side mirrors so they don't vibrate and get blurry at speed. There's this bolt kit you can order for like 20 bucks to hard mount the mirrors, because from the factory they're like rubber mounted and they just vibrate all over the place. I did end up painting these trim pieces on the RT Base. These come just in black plastic, but I ended up popping them out and painting them with silver trim paint to kind of look like the higher trim levels and just make the dash look a little nicer. Everything else is pretty much factory. This already came with, you know, the LED headlights from the factory, so I didn't have to mess with the headlights. I did put the RT Limited, I can't remember what they call it, signature lighting or something. There's like these little DRL, like daytime running light LED strips that mold into the front bumper that the base does not come with, but I ended up finding those OEM ones, like open box, for cheap on eBay. So I ended up buying those, and my brother took the whole front end of the bike apart and installed those LEDs for me. So that looks nice. And I don't think I really did anything else. I did put a I can't describe it. It's like a wedge, like a foldable wedge thing under the seat. So when you're pumping gas, you just flip this thing up and it holds the seat up for you for pumping gas. That was a small accessory. And then you know, I ended up getting like a gel seat pad for, you know, butt numbness and stuff when doing longer rides. But other than that, I really didn't do anything else to it. I haven't done a tune. I did delete the center catalytic converter. So I did end up putting a straight pipe and a baffle in the exhaust, just so it gives it a little more sound, but it's not loud, if that makes sense. So it still has a stock muffler on it. It still looks factory from outside. It's not obnoxiously loud, but I did want a little more sound, and to remove that giant catalytic converter from the center that stores a lot of heat. So I ended up just getting you know, like a mid-muffler delete, catalytic converter delete pipe, and then I put a baffle in it just to quiet it down and make it a little less raspy. But I've been rocking it like that on the stock tune for all 4,000 miles pretty much that I've owned it, and it's been great. So give it a little gas here. But yeah, no, I've been riding this thing around a ton. You know, it's been my grocery getter over the summer. I ride it to the office. I ride it to my parents' house. I ride it to go get food. I ride it to my local bar when I'm meeting up with my friends to grab a couple drinks. I mean, it's so comfortable. And the other thing I really like about it too is when I started going to the gym again this summer, I never really rode my motorcycle to the gym very often because I'd have to bring different sets of clothes and shoes and boots and all this stuff. Yeah, so, but with this, I feel perfectly comfortable just jumping on it, you know, in my shorts and my shirt and my gym shoes, and throw my helmet on and just ride to the gym. I mean, you know, you can't I mean, obviously there's always a danger of hitting something or running into something, but as far as, you know, your foot slipping and tipping it over and falling off at a stoplight, you don't really have to worry about that in this thing. You just sit on it and get comfortable and you're good to go. So I felt a lot safer and more secure, you know, riding this while wearing shorts and not really any protective equipment other than my helmet, just to run to the gym real quick after work. So that's nice. That's been really nice for me. I just use it for my day-to-day errands, and it's been great. But yeah, I just wanted to create this follow-up video and just kind of explain what ended up happening, how I ended up getting this, and what my experience has been so far with my first summer with my own Spyder. I'm going to, once I park, I'm going to take another video and do a walk around of the bike while holding my camera. Oh, speaking of my camera, I also wanted to create this video because I ended up getting a new camera and audio system for my helmet. So right now I'm actually using the DJI Osmo Action 5, I believe. It's the newest DJI Osmo Action camera. And then I'm also using the wireless mic mini. I ended up getting a mic mini as well, so my camera is just mounted right on the front of my helmet, and then I have the mic mini tucked inside, right inside my my modular helmet. I mounted a magnet on the inside of my helmet, so if I want to record, I just have to pop the mic out of the case and stick it on the magnetic mount, and here I am. It's a super easy motovlog setup. I was, you know, watching YouTube videos about how easy it is to configure, and it's been great so far. It's super quick and easy to just pop everything on your helmet and go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I also wanted to record and post another video just to, you know, test out my new camera and microphone setup as well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I don't know if I plan on making any future videos. It is the middle of November. It's November 23rd right now. It's about, I don't know, 48, 50 degrees outside. So we're definitely coming up on winter. I haven't really been riding as much the past month or so, just because the weather's been, you know, trending down and getting colder. So I don't know. You know, we'll see what happens next riding season, next spring, next summer. Maybe I'll feel like making additional videos. But for this video in particular, like I said, once I do park, I plan on doing a walk around video from the exterior of my bike. And then I'll put that at the end of this video when I edit it, just so you can see what the bike looks like. But yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much all I had to say for now. Can do like a walk around of my bike. So this is the 2023 Spyder RT Base. There's those signature lights I mentioned in my video that the RT Limited has, and mine did not come with it, but I added it myself. Also, I did add the auxiliary light on the bottom, like a little fog lamp. The rest of the headlights are factory. Yeah, here's the wheels. But no, this thing's been great. Here's my gel seat pad I mentioned I added. Here's my charging dock, an accessory dock that I mentioned in the video. But everything else on it is factory. I haven't done anything else to it. Yeah, there's the stock exhaust. The stock exhaust and muffler is still on the outside of the bike. I just deleted the center cat, stock floorboards. Everything else is pretty much stock, but you know, the Can-Am backrest I put on it, and then the exhaust is a little louder than stock, but it's not crazy. Now it's in neutral. All right. So yeah, it's not too bad. And there's those accent pieces I painted a little closer. I thought it came out pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it.